Hello everyone, today we have new video review and this time we're gonna check fresh release from Miniart. As usual, if you want to check detailed photos of this kit, just go in the video description, there should be link, so just click it and you will find a review article with this kit. So this is a new release in 1/35 scale which copies T-60 early series, but this time it is interior kit as it's written here, so all internal components are carefully replicated as in the bigger kits Su-122 and T-54 which we saw before. And that's quite an interesting because assembled tank should be quite small, so just imagine it with full interior. It should be impressive, I guess. As you can see here we have nice box art. I really love the latest box arts from the Miniart. Here you can see comparison from with my hand. We don't have short features list as usual on the box art. I guess it's due to the box size. But on the box side we have some information about the kit, that there are 482 parts and it is suitable for modelers 14 and over. And here you can see pictures, let's say 3D renders of the assembled vehicle. And they look quite interesting. But we're gonna check all those parts closer. So, that's the top opening box. And here is what we have inside. So all those parts are packed into the same plastic bag, so be careful to check them. I mean, if you have a chance to check them, better open the box and take a look in order to be sure that you'll get all parts intact. Now just give me a second to open this plastic bag because it's a sealed plastic bag. So I need scissors, I guess, because otherwise it will be quite tricky to open it. Just give me a second. Okay. There are two separate sets of screws, and as you can guess, one will go inside this vehicle and one will be used for the external detailing. So let's check first the internal set, because those parts are completely new and it is interesting to see how manufacturers solve detailing features in this small tank. Even though this is a 1/35 scale, this vehicle should be really small. Once again, I will repeat it, and that's why it is truly amazing that Miniart decided to implement the interior kit style on this model. So first we have separately packed transparent sprue and decal sheet. I'll zoom in. Of course, we have here symbols for several marking options, so no worries, you will be able to replicate something interesting out of this kit. And clear parts look quite nice. Of course, you will need masks for this because there are no masks in the kit, but otherwise it's really nice to have those elements inside the kit. Next we have first plastic sprue. I guess this one carries engine parts, as you can see here. And molding quality is really nice. Once again we have thin parts right on the frame and note those attachment points in the middle. That should be quite tricky to deal with those, but all parts which are divided into several halves, they have position pins inside, so at least this feature should be helpful while assembling those elements together. Next we have two absolutely identical parts. Actually there are more of them as far as I can see, and I will show you only one, because there is no need to show the same frame 3 times. So what we have here are internal parts for the some transmission elements and also for the drive sprocket, and also we have stowage bins which should be placed on the external side skirts. Next we have plenty of small plastic sprues, and guess what? They will be used for tracks. Give me a second, I will show you one of those. Here it is. We have separate track links, and these parts obviously should be easier to paint and weather, and of course they will look more realistic, but due to size here you can see that they are smaller than my fingertip. It should be tricky to assemble them and it will be quite tedious procedure, but final result will be a nice reward for all the work done. And then we have last frame out of this plastic bag. As you can see here, we have more of the internal elements. Note the driver's seat is molded as one piece part. I will zoom out so that you can see whole frame. And again, molding quality, detailing are really nice, but once again we have those connecting points like this one, for example, which should be tricky to cut through without breaking or without damaging the thin element. So be careful and take a careful look at all those thin elements before cutting them. Otherwise, as you can see, it's really impressive. And for example, here we have this nice small part, and all these parts should be inside the vehicle, don't forget. Okay, now let's jump to the other set of sprues, which is also packed into plastic bag. And I'm not sure why it is sealed to the main plastic bag, but it is. Now I'm trying to remove it out of the bag. Just give me a second. Okay. Oh yeah. So we don't need the big plastic bag because all those parts are packed into the smaller one. Now I just need to cut through it. And we'll check all those frames. Okay, first is this nice envelope with PE parts, of course. Just give me a second to glance again. Here they are. This is unpainted PE thread for external and internal detailing. And as you can see, it's wrapped into the protective film so it won't be scratched or damaged somehow. And of course it should be useful in order not to lose minor elements. I mean, do not disconnect this PE thread from the film, because film is quite sticky and it will hold parts in place and they won't jump around your workplace. Here you can see first grey plastic sprue out of the second bag. Here we have the top hull part, also some internal elements as well. And everything molded nicely. I mean, note these thin attachment points on the hull part, but again we have quite small elements here, for example, which should be, let's say, tricky to separate. Then we have side parts of the lower part, lower section of the hull. Once again we have these special slots for the suspension elements, and inside we have position parts for the... Actually, this is external side and that's internal side. So here you have also some position elements for the interior elements. Next we have turret, which is molded as one piece element, as you can see. You just have to add the lower segment and top and the faceplate, and you will be done. I can even zoom in so that you can see this part closer. Here it is. Quite nice molding. I would say it's modern quality and it's good to see. Just look on those molding seams, they look really nice. And I think they will look even better after you weather them. Next we have small idlers, which are given on 3 plastic frames. So I will show only one to you. Here it is. They're connected obviously from 2 points, from 2 ends. So it should be easy to separate them. Next we have separate part for the frontal superstructure. As you can see, we even have the separate hatch, which might be positioned open if you would like to. Then we have 2 small frames with road wheels. And here is another part. Why I'm not showing them closer? Because there will be another frame with these parts, so we will check them there. Here we have another sprue with internal and external elements. Let's zoom in, because otherwise you won't see it. Next we have, I'm not sure where those parts will go, we will check assembly manual. But as you can see inside again we have this position tabs, which should be helpful while trying to align these parts together. Next we have road wheels, as I said before. They are given on two absolutely identical sprues. I will show only one, so here they are, connected on 3 attachment points, and here you can see them from the other side. I will zoom in so that you can see that they also have some nice surface detailing, and here's another one. And of course don't forget that those were rubber tires, so you will have to carefully paint them because there are no templates or any other helpful bonus in the kit. Here we have another hatch parts. Again we have separate hatch and 2 types of the main segment which will house this hatch. Next we have 2 absolutely identical frames. I will show you only one again. Those are obviously internal elements, and I want to zoom in so that you can see, for example, this part and this fire extinguisher, which is placed on 3 attachment points and might be tricky in separating. Again, I'm repeating this. And just to remind you that the size of this part, so it's really small. And last but not the least is this part, which carries lower, or let's say belly plate of the hull, also side skirts, these parts for the drive sprocket segment. Here we have towing cable, which is mounted as one piece part, and it will be really difficult to separate it without breaking it. So if you have a chance to replace it with metal analog, I would rather do it. I mean, just cut those end parts and combine them with metal segment here. Then also here we have some internal elements and external as well. So everything looks nice. Even handle is here, but I would rather replace it with metal wire for even more realistic look. So that's all for those plastic parts. Then on the bottom of the box we have assembly manual. Here it is. It is a typical Miniart brochure. Here we have short list of the features. So there are 402 plastic parts and 78 photo-etched parts, which together make 482 parts for this model. Decals are included for 11 marking options. Here you can see several of them. Here we have parts map and another parts map, and assembly process starts of course from the base plate. We attach different engine parts, suspension elements, here the assembly of the engine, and then we move on to close the hull, attach the side skirts, then assemble the turret, and here you can see several other marking options which are included into this kit. So there are winter camouflages which are combined together with typical green color, and also note the captured tank from the German army, which can be also nice, or this one as well. So that's all for this video review. I hope you enjoyed it. As you can see, even though this kit is quite small, still it features plenty of interior detailing and it should be nice in assembled state. And of course, I would be happy to hear your opinion. Would you build such kit or would you prefer something different? Just write it here in the comment section below. And of course, if you want to help us, if you would like to see more video reviews like this, press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I will see you in the next video review. Bye!